Hello all, welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first time you are here, welcome. My name is Janet. Today we're going to be doing a 20-minute toning workout focusing on toning those thighs and glutes. No equipment required, just yourself and some space in the house. Now, if you enjoy this sort of tone workout, please let me know by leaving some comments below. Definitely liking this video and for sure subscribe to my channel, as it will really help the algorithm and let my channel grow. Now let's get started. Hello my lovely people, we are starting on the ground now, hands underneath the shoulders, knees a little bit apart underneath the hips. And we're going to start with our right leg, lifting up and down, straighten it out, pointing the toes if you can. If you find that you're prone to getting cramps in the calf, I would have your toes flexed in towards the shins. Now, as always, 30 seconds is going to be for the exercise, 10 seconds to rest. If you're feeling quite good today, you can keep that leg going for the remainder of the rest period. Otherwise, take a moment if you need it. Coming into that first break if you need, otherwise keep going with that leg. We're swinging that leg into a rainbow position behind us, so take it to the opposite side, onto the left, swing it up, bring it to the right. Make sure you're lifting that leg up high past the hips in the middle, like a rainbow that has an arch in the middle. We're just going to go side to side there. Squeezing your right glute on the way, and make sure you're lifting out of the shoulders and keeping your torso relatively still. All right, we're dropping down onto the elbow so that your wrist gets a little bit of a rest. And we're going to donkey kicks. Lift the right leg up, toes flexing towards the shins, heel lifted, and then push up and then drop down halfway. Try not to let the knee drop too low because you want to keep the tension on the glutes the whole time. Nice work. All right, that leg is going to go up straight and we're just going to pulse it in the air. Toes pointed or flexed, squeezing up and down, going in that diagonal plane, flicking it through. That's it, almost there. There might be a little bit of discomfort now in the glutes area, maybe the back of the thighs. And rest it out. From here, you're going to flip it over onto the side. So your left arm is down, left leg is down, and your right leg is still the one moving. Toes up on the diagonal. We're going to lift it up and then bring it down about 5 centimeters. We're going to stay up in the diagonal position of that leg. Make sure your hips are stacked and you are pulling your body inwards towards you. You're trying to elongate out your torso so that your core is still switched on as you're moving your legs. Great. Have a rest if you need to, otherwise keep going. Just going to burn through that top glute. All right, we're about to kick the leg forward and back. Now, if you want to get fancy, when the leg kicks forward, your toes are pointed. When the leg swings back, you are flexing your toes towards the shins. If that confuses you to move the toes forward and back, just keep one motion. Either have the toes pointed or have the toes flexed and keep swinging that leg. Make sure that top leg is above the bottom so that your thighs are not sort of touching together if possible. Lift it a little bit higher if you need to keep that separation of the two legs. Good. All right. So we're going to lift that leg up and draw circles forward and back on the diagonal. Toes pointed. At the halfway mark, about 15 seconds in, we will change direction of that circling. I'll tell you when. So forward and back with the leg. All right, we're gonna reverse it, go back and forward in that circular motion. Careful not to swing your hips around because it starts to get a little bit more vigorous. Nice, and have a moment. All right, both legs are gonna come together and you're bringing the toes slightly forward to the corner of your mat. Hands come down onto the floor for a bit of balance, and we're gonna squeeze the legs together and lift off the ground. Like you've got a mermaid's tail and you're just lifting it up and down. No stress if your legs do not get off the ground too far. Try not to swing the hips back behind you in order to do it, because what you want your inner thighs to engage and get switched on here. Good. All right, let's keep going with your inner thigh work. So top leg is going to bend and step forward in front of that bottom leg. Bottom leg is straight, toes pointed, and lift straight up and down. Sometimes participants find that their bottom hip gets a little bit uncomfortable. Feel free to roll up the mat or pop a towel underneath your hips, especially if your floor is quite hard there. So where you want to feel this in the inside of that bottom leg is where we're trying to target. Good, rest here or keep going. Don't stress if you didn't feel too much because we're about to pulse that inner thigh. This is where I find the burner comes through. All right, that leg is going to stay off the floor and you're just bouncing it up and down. Hopefully as you bounce the leg, your body does not bounce, because that's the tricky bit, to hold it still with control here. Keep breathing it through. Even though you might be concentrating and it might be starting to get uncomfortable, try to keep breathing it through. Nice work. All right, we're coming back onto the hands and knees. I'm just flipping the other way so that you can see the leg, but otherwise you can stay the same direction. Left leg is extended and we're squeezing it to lift up and down. Toes pointed if you can. Lifting out of the shoulders. Tummy muscles drawn right into the spine because that's what helps keep the stability of the torso. You don't want your lower back to sort of arch as you lift the leg up and down. Keeps the back straight, also tells you that your deep core is working. Good. All right, crossing that leg over to the opposite side. We're about to draw those rainbows as we did earlier. Swing it in the middle and take it to the other side of the mat. So if you are on a mat, you are going from side to side of the mats, from the edges to the other edge. If you're not using a mat, obviously it's just below 1 meter sort of wide, but depends on your hip range. If it's a bit tight today, you may not go as wide. Don't worry, just try to have the lift in the middle. All right, we're dropping onto the elbows, going into donkey kiss. We're going to bend that foot up towards us, toes flexing towards the shins. Keep that knee past the hips and then push up and then drop it down just slightly below the hips, but never to the ground. Lift out of your shoulders, right? Focusing on which muscles you are going to try to target, which is that left glute. The bum cheek there on the booty. We're trying to tone up here. Great. Final bit, extending that leg. We're going into those pulses with lifts, yeah? So stays off the ground with that leg. We're moving that leg up and down. Stay off the floor. Obviously, you can reduce the range and just stay up in the diagonal and just pulse and bounce it for a few centimeters up and down. Otherwise, you can make your pulse a little bit larger, as I'm demonstrating here. Foot stays off the ground though the whole time. Great. All right, let's lie down, dropping down onto the right hand side now. Your left leg is going to be the one continuing to move. Hips stacked. We're going on the diagonal, lifting that leg up 5 or 6 centimeters and then down again. But stay with the leg on the diagonal. If you notice your knees or thighs touching, then you've gone too low. It could happen as you're getting tired in the body. But no stress, team. We are almost done with this exercise. You are more than halfway through with your workout here. All right, so remember horizontal legs, fancy legs if you want to, toes pointed as you come forward, toes flexed as you move back. Otherwise, you can do one or the other with the foot. Just try not to let it dangle, because I find when you dangle the leg, not all the muscles in your leg is engaged. Don't worry if you get confused, I do as well, with when I need to point and when I need to flex. Great, and releasing it back. All right, remember the lovely circles. We're gonna go forward and backwards, and at the halfway mark, I will let you know when to reverse those circles. So holding that leg up at diagonal, toes pointed, round and round we go. We're at 20 seconds, and then I'll let you know. All right, team, let's start to stop and reverse the circles the other way. Go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Two legs together. Let's go into that mermaid tail. Bring the toes forward in front corner of the mat. Hands come down at the top so that you can balance yourself. It helps me just stabilize the body as I lift both legs up and down. You're like a mermaid that's splashing her tail. So you got to keep the thighs in together so it stays nice and elongated. Inner thighs, I find, is those muscles that are a little bit smaller. So they tend to be maybe not as strong depending on what you do in life. All right, let's burn her through that bottom thigh. Top leg bends forward, bottom leg is straightened and toes pointed, and we're lifting it straight off the ground, and then you're allowed to drop it down. Of course, you are allowed to drop it down whenever you need to, especially if you need a little bit of extra time to rest. But otherwise, it's going to be up and down, because the next round we just keep that thigh off the ground. If you remember the pulses, or you might have blocked it out of your memory. Lovely. All right, take that moment. We're about to pulse it out. So the leg is going to stay floating into the air, and we are just going to bounce it without bouncing the rest of our body. Isolating just that inner thigh. If the burn comes through, then you are doing it right in that top thigh area. Almost there, team. About 10 seconds to go. Great work. All right, we're rolling onto our backs. Gonna have your feet bent. We're coming into bridges. So this works the back of your glutes. We work the side. All right, lifting the hips up into bridge position, arms off the ground because I want to make it harder. But of course, if you need your hands to come down to support your back, that is totally fine to bring the hands just beside you. Pressing the triceps into the mat because I find it gives you a bit more grip there. Otherwise, keep the arms up like I am and keep going. Good job, team. All right, take a moment. All right, we're going to lift that right leg up and we're going to bring that knee in and out. So hold that knee in line with each other. Bend the knee and extend. Bend the knee and extend out. So breathe out on the extension out. Inhale when the knee comes in. Notice how the height of your bum is as high as it was before when you had both legs down. You got to lift the hips up by squeezing the bum so that your back of the hamstrings on the left side does not have to work so hard for you. You want to use your big muscles to hold you up. Your big muscles are always your glutes. It's a lazy muscle. It doesn't like to work unless you tell it to, but you got this. Lift your right leg up straight into the air. Your bum is going to drop halfway down and lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. At this point, you may feel that the left thigh at the back might start to get a little bit niggling. You can move your left foot closer towards your glutes, and sometimes that releases the tension when you reduce that range. Great job, team. All right, you've just got one more side to go, and then we are in for a quick stretch. Left leg humming at 45 degrees, knees in and out. Very close to stretching. If you can stay with me, that would be awesome. Almost there. Make sure you keep the height of your glutes. Perfect. And release. Have a moment here. We're going to hold that left leg up into the air. We're going to drop the bum halfway down and up. That's it. Good news. You've only got one more exercise to do after this, just to completely make sure your glutes are working hard for you today. All right, rest it out. Last one. Knees side to side. Let's swish, swish, swish. All right, so we're going to come into bridge and just clap the knees. So open the knees wide and then bring it in parallel. Arms stay up into the air. Now, if you can hold off after this bit to stay and stretch out that glute and legs with me. But if you can't, don't worry. Just make sure you do a little bit of stretch later. If you like these sort of exercises, please like the video, leave some comments and let me know. And definitely subscribe so I know what sort of content to make for you guys in the future. Good. All right, we're just swinging the knees side to side there. Turning your head away from the knees so that your lower back can stretch. All right, so we're gonna take that left foot over that right thigh, hug the right knee in towards your body. This is for your glutes to stretch out. Release and swap to the other leg. The leg that is bent, you're gonna pull in towards you. Sometimes you can grab it behind the thighs. For a deeper stretch, I tend to grab it to my shins. Of course, if your glutes are quite tight, you might not get there. And release to roll over. Good, so bring your right foot in, left leg extending all the way out to the corner and reaching forward. Try to flatten your chest towards the leg. No stretches of your hands, do not get to the toes, right? It depends on your hamstring length today. And swap it over. Right leg extended, left foot comes in and extend that body. So the pull is from the back of your legs and from your lower back area. It's actually not your arms getting any more longer. Stretch that body through. Good. All right, so extending that left leg out beside you, dropping down onto the elbows. Keep your bum nice and low. Keep your left foot flat. This just is stretching out your inner thighs that you worked out earlier with all those little pulses. Good, release, come back in and swap over to the other leg. Push the hips back, drop down onto the elbows. Foot as flat as you can, just because it engages your inner thighs a little bit more deeply. and release. Well done, team. Thank you for working out with me. I will see you on the next one. Bye.